Three stories. Two are completely false. One is 100% real. Can you guess which one is true?
Be careful. Some of these stories sound incredibly convincing, Shu, but science will prove them wrong.
Hey everyone, welcome to True or Trick, the show where we test your instincts and challenge what you think you know. I'm Julian, and this is Riley, and today we've got three unbelievable stories for you.
Will you be able to separate fact from fiction? Stick around until the end to see if you guessed right.
In 1959, 9 experienced hikers set off on a trekking expedition in the Ural Mountains of Soviet Russia. The group, led by Igor Dyatlov, was expected to return after a few weeks. When they failed to make contact, a search team was sent to locate them. What they found remains one of the most terrifying and unexplained mysteries in modern history. The hikers' tent was discovered ripped open from the inside as if they had fled in a panic. Their bodies were found scattered around the area, some partially buried in snow, others with severe injuries that no natural explanation could justify. One victim had a crushed skull, 2 had broken ribs, and another was missing her tongue. Strangely, no external wounds matched the force of these injuries. Adding to the mystery, some of the victims' clothes were found to be highly radioactive. Theories about their fate range from an avalanche forcing them to flee, to secret Soviet military experiments, to an encounter with a mysterious force. However, none of these theories fully explain the bizarre combination of injuries, the state of the bodies, and the inexplicable fear that drove them out into the freezing night. Even decades later, the Dyatlov Pass incident remains unsolved, with conspiracy theories and scientific debates continuing to this day. Official reports suggest hypothermia and natural forces, but many believe something far more sinister was at play in those frozen mountains.
In 1924, the cargo steamship East Wind left from England, bound for Canada. The ship carried essential goods and a crew of 22 experienced sailors. However, halfway through its journey across the Atlantic, all contact was lost. A week later, another vessel spotted the East Wind, eerily drifting through the waves with no signs of life on board. A boarding party climbed aboard, expecting to find survivors or at least some sign of what had happened. Instead, they found a fully stocked ship with meals left uneaten, logbooks abruptly stopped mid-entry, and not a single person in sight. Even more chilling, the lifeboats were still secured, ruling out the possibility of an emergency evacuation. The ship was towed back to port, where investigators found no evidence of struggle, no distress signals sent, and no explanation for why an entire crew had vanished into thin air. Some speculated a mutiny, while others believed in supernatural forces such as the Bermuda Triangle, despite the ship being nowhere near its vicinity. Over time, the East Wind became one of maritime history's greatest unsolved mysteries, with no records of its crew ever being found. Some claim to have seen the ghostly ship appearing in foggy waters, still sailing with its missing crew lost in time. In 1921, a team of archaeologists led by Dr. Alan Westcott uncovered a hidden chamber beneath the ruins of the Luxor Temple in Egypt. Unlike other tombs, this chamber had remained completely untouched for thousands of years. Strange hieroglyphs on the walls warned of a curse upon anyone who dared to enter. Ignoring the warnings, the team proceeded with the excavation. Within days, members of the group began falling ill under mysterious circumstances. The expedition's photographer, James Holloway, suffered hallucinations of shadowy figures watching him. Another archaeologist, Peter Langley, vanished from the site without a trace, with only his notebook left behind. When Dr. Westcott attempted to report his findings, he was found dead in his tent the next morning. The remaining team abandoned the dig, sealing the chamber and refusing to speak of what they had witnessed. Rumors spread that an ancient entity had been disturbed and had claimed the archaeologists as punishment. The Luxor chamber remains sealed to this day, with no official record of its location. Egyptian authorities deny its existence, but locals still whisper of a hidden tomb that holds an unspeakable curse.
So, which one do you think is true? Drop your guess in the comments before I reveal the answer.
The Dyatlov Pass incident is the only true story in this episode. It is a well-documented event with police and government investigations, autopsy reports, and official records from Soviet authorities. While there is no confirmed explanation for what happened, all the hikers were real people, and their deaths remain a subject of scientific and historical debate. The second story about the East Wind crew is purely fictional. While ghost ships like the Mary Celeste exist in maritime history, no record of a ship named East Wind and its vanishing crew has ever been found. The details were created to sound plausible, but have no basis in fact. The third story about the cursed chamber of Luxor plays on the fascination with Egyptian curses, similar to the legend of King Tut's curse. However, there is no documented discovery of a hidden chamber in Luxor that led to unexplained deaths. The story is designed to feel mysterious, but is entirely fictional. This proves that truth is often stranger than fiction, but can you always tell the difference? And that's it for today's episode. 3 unbelievable stories. 2 were completely made up, and 1 was 100% real. Did you guess correctly? Sometimes truth is stranger than fiction, and other times a well-told lie can sound incredibly convincing, but that's why we're here, to challenge your instincts, test your logic, and keep you on your toes. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe for more mind-bending stories, and let us know in the comments which story fooled you the most. See you next time for another round of True or Trick. Until then, stay curious,